Welcome to PowerPoint Video Lesson Training for the Advanced. The prerequisites prior to being able to create a video lesson with your PowerPoint is to understand how to create a PowerPoint presentation using animations so that when you record, your animations and your voice are following along. Once you already have a presentation ready to go, you are going to click on the bar at the very top of your PowerPoint where it says Slideshow. Once you click on that, you are going to see that it says Record Slideshow with a red circle. That is what you will click first. Once you have clicked that, you are going to want to click on the Record from the beginning. This way you can start from the very beginning of the PowerPoint and just continue moving from slide to slide. If you were to make a mistake or if you have to stop and then come back to it later, at that point you will go to the slide where you stopped and then you can click on Record from Current Slide. Once you click on Record, you're going to see a screen like the one on here pop up. At the very top of that screen, you will see the red button for you to click on when you are ready to record. Once you do that, it will give you a countdown from 3 down to 1 to let you have the time to prepare to be ready to speak. Prior to beginning your recording, you are going to want to look at the settings that is up next to the little X on the right-hand side of your screen. And when you click on that, it is going to show you your microphone settings as well as your camera settings. If you want your face to be actually on the screen as you are teaching, then you are going to want to have your camera on. However, you do not need to do that to create a successful presentation or video lesson. You do want to make sure that your microphone is working properly, so check those settings prior to beginning the recording process. There's nothing worse than getting started on your recording and coming to the end and then finding that your microphone never picked up your sound. Want to annotate as you present? Not a problem. You are able to look at the page at the very bottom where you have those arrows. You are able to choose your colors. Underneath that, there's also a pen, a highlighter option, or a laser option that you can use as you present. Once you have completed your presentation and you save it into a video format, you can have all of your annotations erased and use the presentation again for another purpose. Now you're ready to record, but you can't remember what to say. No worries, check this out. You actually have a button at the top of the screen where if you click it, a drop-down will pop out with your notes. In order for your notes to appear there, you will have to type them in the actual PowerPoint. To find that area, you would go to the very bottom of your PowerPoint slide and click on the little button that says Notes, and you can type your notes in there. I will caution you that you are only going to be able to see a certain portion of it. So if you want to add a lot, you're going to have to scroll down, and the scrolling down clicking will come up in the video as you record. So I would advise that you keep it short and sweet. I messed up for the upteenth time. How many times has that happened to you where you start recording, you make a mistake, and you have to start all over again? That is not a fun thing to do, but don't worry. You are able to come up to the little X above your pictures or your PowerPoint slides, and it gives you an option to clear your recordings. You can either clear the recordings for the entire PowerPoint presentation, or you can clear the recordings for the current slide. I caution you to be very careful not to press clear recordings on entire presentation. If you do so, then you're going to have to begin the recording from slide 1 again. If you go ahead and click clear recordings on the current slide, then you can simply re-record that slide in and of itself. So let me show you an example of how it works when you create a video lesson to teach your students. Students, today you are going to work on how to subtract a 4-digit number by a number less than that. We are going to be using a place value chart and base 10 blocks. First thing I want you to do is you are going to take the number 1,552 and you are going to set that up in your place value chart using your blocks. So I am going to put 2 units, which are single blocks for ones, into my ones column. I'm going to add 5 rods or tens into my tens column. I'm going to add 5 flats or hundreds to my hundreds column. And then I am going to add 1 cube, which is my thousands, into my thousands column. So I just represented using models 1,552. Next, I'm going to repeat this process, but write the number 309 using my models. So I'm going to add 9 units into the ones column, no units in the tens column, and then I added 3 units into the hundreds column. Now I am ready to subtract. But wait, can I take 9 away from 2? That won't work. So I'm going to have to borrow from the 5. In order to do that, I am going to take 1 tens and I'm going to move it into the ones column and break it into my individual units. Notice that there are 10 units in that particular piece. Now I can begin to subtract. As I take the numbers away from the 9 on the bottom number, I'm going to also remove them from the 12 pieces that I now have in my ones column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. To figure out my answer, I have to see how many unit blocks I have left. 1, 2, and 3. So 12 minus 9 is going to equal to 3. When I move into my tens columns, I'm not subtracting anything from my 4 tens, so I'm just going to bring down my 4. Now I'm in my hundreds columns, and I have to subtract 3 hundreds from 5 hundreds. So just like we did in the ones column, as I take them away from the 300s, I'm going to also remove it from the top number. So here's minus 1, 2, and 3. So I am left with 200s, which I am going to bring down to the bottom. That means that 500 minus 300 equals 200. Finally, I'm going to go to my thousands column. 1,000 minus 0 is going to be 1,000. This is how you can use models to help you to subtract digits up to 4 numbers or into the thousands. So as you see, my animations can go with my words so that way when the students play it, it will automatically play with those animations coinciding with what I am saying. Once you have completed recording over your entire presentation, you are ready to save your work. The very first thing that you need to do is save it as you would any other document or any other PowerPoint. You click on File, Save or Save As, and then put it into the file that you want. Once you have done that, you are ready to export. So when you click on File again, it's going to open the screen that is on the right-hand side, and on that screen, you are going to click on Export. This will be how you can go ahead and create a video for your presentation. Once you have done that, you have 2 options. You can create a video, which will be an MP4 format, which then you can upload into YouTube and present it that way, or you can record a Publish to Microsoft stream. That will record into your Microsoft Stream, which you could then find through ClassLink. I prefer to create a video with an MP4 method. However, you may prefer to do the Microsoft Stream. Now what? Now you are ready to export your video. Prior to clicking to create video, you want to go ahead and look at several of those settings. The first being the quality and size of your video. Although there are a variety of options, I have found that the best option is the full HD. Once you have chosen that, you will also see a button that says use recorded timings and narrations. I would advise that you do not change anything there. And then you are ready to go ahead and click create video. After you click that, it is going to ask you to save your video. I would suggest creating a file in your subjects for video lessons. You can save them as files for the standard or for the unit, but that way all of the video lessons for a particular unit can be in one place, and then name them based on what the lesson is. This will make it much easier to locate the video later on. Once you have named your video and saved it, it will begin the download process as it creates your video. This can take some time, so notice my emoji seems a little stressed out or frustrated. That is probably how you will feel, but that's okay. It will give you a progress bar. You can watch the progress bar to monitor how long it is going to take or how much more time it will take. While it is doing that, you are able to still do other things on your computer. So I would suggest minimizing the screen and doing anything else that you need to get done, and then just popping in and out to see where the progress is. Once that has been completely done and it shows that the little bar has completely filled, you will be able to locate your video in the file where you chose to save it. Are y'all ready to try? Be confident, you've got this, and if you need help, please feel free to reach out to myself, Ileana Diaz, or to anybody on the tech team. Teachers for Teachers. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, it has the certified MIE code. If you have not already done so, I suggest you go to the Microsoft Office website, find the Microsoft Educator platform, and in there you can enter that code to receive credit towards your MIE certificate. Thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, once again, please feel free to reach out to me or anybody else on the tech team.